Hello, I'm Anne-Marie McAleese and you're very, very welcome to the Your Place in Mind podcast. On this week's programme, remembering the swimming heroines of Portstewart, the Armagh actor Patrick Magee and the favourite tree of the man from the Woodland Trust. And a new plaque was unveiled in Portstewart this week to mark the achievements of two long-distance swimmers. Mercedes Gleitz swam from Moville in Donegal over to the Barrens in Portstewart in 1929. And then, 80 years later, last July, local woman Heather Clatworthy emulated her idol and completed the 15-mile swim in just over 4 hours. Ronan Lundy was there when the plaque was unveiled on Tuesday, and so was Heather. But Causeway Coast and Glens Mayor Joan Baird began the proceedings.
For many of you this morning, it must indeed seem like déjà vu. At this time last year, we met to celebrate a major swimming achievement which took place back in 1929. I had to think about that.
Yeah, anybody who comes here can look over and see the lighthouse at Moville. And I just thought, you can hear my daughter in the background.
I'm just saying, she's come over here and given you a big hug.
That's it. She's a mermaid herself. I was only her age, and I used to just always want to do it with the adventure in me. And when I read the book that Anne-Marie McAleese's father wrote in my grandparents' house years ago, I realised that somebody had done it, and that was Mercedes Gleitz, and I'm just so lucky to be stood here today, and I was able to recreate my childhood dream.
It's very easy to turn around and say, okay, what inspired you was a book, but I've read many a book, people who have climbed mountains, but I still don't climb the mountain. So what made you decide, look, I'm going to do this?
I always wanted to do it, but I didn't know if it was possible. The book suddenly turned it into a possibility in my head, but I still kept quiet about it because it sounds ridiculous. And it was basically, I damaged my back quite badly. I fractured it having both my children, and I'm not good at triathlons, but I kept it up to keep fit. And I had to pull out of a triathlon, and I was sat having a picnic in Portstewart one summer. I came over and I cancelled a triathlon, and I just thought, you know what, stuff it. This opportunity isn't going to come to me. Nobody's ever going to organise that swim, and I want to do it before I die. And I was just past 30, and I thought, I'm not getting any younger, just do it. I don't care if I fail, but if I don't give it a try, I'll never know.
But the build up to it as well, you must have been training all the time just to attempt this.
Well, the build up was almost as exciting as when I swam into the finishing line. The last 2 years have been the most exciting two of my life. The people I've met and the stories with Mercedes that I've learned from her, meeting her family, knowing that they were all still here and they're here today. They've flown from England and America. It's been incredible, the things I've learned. You know, I thought I'm just going to have to get really fit and swim as hard as I can. That's really the wrong thing. And I soon learned that no, I need to learn to stay in cold water for hours and hours and hours. And I had no money to chuck at this. I didn't have professional trainers. I've got 2 children to look after, and I work 3 days a week, so I could only train in the evenings. And luckily my uncle lives in Dover, so I could go and visit the channel swimmers in Dover from time to time, and pure fluke and winged it, gave it my best. You know, there's no excuse, I'd say, so I just fitted it in and I wanted to do it, and I'm very lucky I had the support of so many people and they put their faith in me.
Pure fluke and winged it? I'd have to disagree with that completely, to say the least. You know, preparing for it, or literally as you started, was there at any stage you thought, I am mad, why am I doing this, I'm going to give up, or did it ever cross your mind?
Yeah, many's the time. The first big hurdle, if you like, mental hurdle to get over was whenever I googled Mercedes Gleitz and realised she wasn't just a girl from Donegal, because that's what I thought she was. But I'd already said I was going to do it, and I thought, no, it's okay. Essentially, she is just a female, and if she can do it, I can do it. And then I realised that she'd tried it and failed it the first time. And I thought, well, she swum the channel successfully and she didn't do this the first time. I thought, that's ridiculous. And I thought, no, move on. A couple of weeks later, I thought, no, I'll still try. And then the minke whale washed up. And then I learnt what was in the water. I mean, I've never swam in a great distance, the lion's mane jellyfish and the basking sharks, which are completely harmless, but I never knew could you float into one of their mouths. I had no idea. Then halfway through my training, I did an 8-mile swim in Torbay and was stung so badly my armpits were bleeding. It was horrific, and I just thought if I get through this swim, I might just be able to do the swim from Donegal to Portstewart. And I swear there were so many things could have gone wrong, and I genuinely could not have finished it. And there were 3 times I nearly gave up doing it over here. It was very hard because of the cold. I'm not the best swimmer in the world, so I have poor front crawl technique, so I swallowed a bit too much salt water was going across the foil. I had no idea where I was. When you're in the water this far away, you can't see Portstewart. It all looks like a little black line above the ocean. But anyway, I heard the people, and the brilliant kayakers and support team I had with me, who I couldn't have done it without, cheered me on, yelled at the right times, and got me in here, and I'll never forget a minute of it.
I think both of you, Mercedes back in 1929 and you last year, I think it was an incredible feat. How do you feel about this unveiling today?
I'm just so delighted with it and flattered. I didn't expect anything like that, and it's, yes, to have a plaque on the coastline's lovely because people will remember Mercedes, which is why we did that last year, because I felt her swim was just so under-acknowledged, and it was an amazingly significant historic point for Portstewart and the whole coast. The town clerk paid her to come over as a tourism stunt to improve tourism here, and it worked. Thousands of people came, so I'm so glad we have that here, and for my name to be on any board associated with that incredible woman is an honour I'll never forget.